One of the great things you have out here in the Northwest is you have got wild mushrooms galore. So these ones we gave you today are called chanterelles. They're one of my favorites. They're super abundant right now. Pretty much every season around here, there is a wild mushroom that's available to you, whether it's, porcinis and morels in the spring, chanterelles in the summertime, or porcinis and black trumpets in the wintertime. There's a lot of stuff available. So basically what I'm doing with all these, I have my saute pan. I put a little bit of butter in the bottom. I'm just pulling them apart.
Is the butter salted?
The butter is not salted. I don't use salted butter.
Because
I want to control the seasoning of myself. I'll add as much salt as I need.
Then we're going to go to Philip. So favorite cut of meat from Kylie Blue?
Favorite cut of meat? It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing cooking demos, I tend to go a little bit more home run hitter stuff, like scallops, salmon, halibut, beef tenderloin, New York steak, ribeye, those kinds of things. For me, I tend to like things that are, I like things like my favorite cut of steak is probably a hanger steak or a beef cheek, right? I like chewy things. I like things to be, that are braised. If I'm going like lamb, obviously I love lamb. I love leg of lamb. Mostly sentimental. My dad used to cook leg of lamb a lot as a kid. We were here in Seattle. My parents were artists, and believe it or not, leg of lamb was one of the cheapest things you could find in Seattle. Also like things that are braised, like lamb tongue is a great thing. So I like everything. I honestly really do. It's just a matter about what's like sparks nostalgia for me, and what have I enjoyed cooking, right?
All right.
What kind of got me was when I first moved here a few years ago, and I was taking the connector from Wallingford. And I was taking the connector from Wallingford, and the connector is, in my opinion, one of the absolute best perks we have as employees, even though we don't get to use it right now. And I was walking and to get on my private bus with my heated bus with the Wi-Fi to get to my wonderful job. And I was passing homeless people on the street every single day. And so I thought, what better way, I'm doing this every day. It's $1 a day. It kind of makes sense. I'm going to buy into this, this community and this program for United Way of King County.
Yeah, thanks so much. So I'm a change maker. I actually started like Maggie as a emerging leader many years ago. So I started with United Way as a tax volunteer, and I've done that for 8 years now. Doing tax returns for low-income families. And if you're interested in that, the sign up is right now, by the way. Small plug. And I actually met Juliana here, who's next to me, who's a change maker with me during the tax season, I think 5 years ago, volunteering. But a change maker is basically just, you start as an emerging leader possibly, and then you just step up and decide to donate a little more. And so as a change maker, you donate $100 a month. And so that comes out to $1,200 for the year. And that actually helps a family to possibly avoid eviction. And if you work at Microsoft, like most of us here do, if you double that, that's actually $2,400 that United Way gets. And so that could actually help 2 families. And so that's really it. And so for me, I've just been invested with United Way for many years, and it's just great, all the programs that they're doing for the community, helping people avoid eviction, students can graduate, or people don't have financial stress. And so it's just been very personal to us. And so we've just decided to step it up a year ago at the last food event, actually, that was still in person back then. And so we raised our paddles up there and decided to just give that just a little bit more. And so, yeah, that's where we are.
And so I do want to let you know that United Way is very much being influenced and trying to be responsive to 2 pandemics. One, COVID-19, and one, racial injustice. And so much of my first year at United Way has been working with our team to really shift into high gear and to be as responsive as possible to both the economic and health impacts that are affecting our community. A few notes, we remind ourselves that right now more than 450,000 people in our region are unemployed. And there are many people who were underemployed even before COVID. And so we have people that are struggling who never thought they would be, who are struggling to stay in their homes. So we call that, working on our homelessness prevention, housing instability. Too many of our neighbors are really struggling with that. We have taken one of our core programs called home-based eviction prevention, which Microsoft was one of the first supporters of. And after the Mariners helped us come up with this idea just about a year and a half ago. And we've pivoted from eviction prevention into rental assistance. And so we are working really hard since springtime to get money into folks who are struggling to keep themselves in their homes. They get a combination of free legal advice. They get a caseworker through one of our nonprofit partners, and we provide funding to help folks pay down the debt, negotiate with their landlord, the lawyer and the caseworker, negotiate with the landlord to say, yeah, we'll take this amount of money, you stay in your home, and when the COVID is gone and the eviction moratoriums are lifted, you don't have to worry about being evicted. So we think we are showing up in a really important area. It is one where we're bringing in good money, and I tell you, there are thousands of people who still need help from United Way and our partners. When we rolled out our first rental assistance program, we had thousands of people sign up for just a few opportunities. We had we were going to serve a couple thousand, and we had 7,000 people apply. 52% of those were families, 70% were people of color. So whenever you hear about a societal challenge in our community, not just in the United States, not in the Deep South, not in rural, but here in King County, know that if you're a person of color, the likelihood you are suffering greater than your proportion. You're being challenged in ways you've never seen. And so it's a call to action. And a lot of what we're doing at United Way, our partners, our fundraising is all about serving the community wherever the need is greatest, but being very focused on our Black, Indigenous, and people of color community who are suffering at even greater levels.